It's the beginning of yet another week, so I give you my review of the final chapter of the Star Wars trilogy. Return of the Jedi. Alright, so Return of the Jedi is the conclusion of the Star Wars trilogy, so this has to be good. It is good, but it does have some give and take. So Return of the Jedi starts out on Tatooine, in Jabba's palace, because before you take out the Empire, you gotta get your pal back. The Jabba's palace segment's actually really cool, I like it. You see Jabba the Hutt for the first time because he was not in the original Star Wars because he just wasn't. He's this big sluggish slob, you know, he just eats all day long, he's just a party all the time in Jabba's palace. With 80s music. They changed the song for the special edition, which I actually hate it more. I'm just saying, when you make a cartoon dancing sequence with like 3 CGI characters, one's a little furry thing that looks like a tribble with a mouth that goes and it still sounds like 80s music, you might as well have just left it the 80s music that you had before. In any case, you see Han Solo still on the wall, and this bounty hunter goes up to Han Solo and thaws him out, and you're like, why'd that person do that? That's weird. Oh, it's Leia! That's a pretty clever trick right there, but the victory is short-lived before Jabba the Hutt captures her and dresses her down in Slave Leia outfit. This was pre-Percocet binge. She was hot. In walks Luke Skywalker. Luke is like a completely different person at this point. He's not whiny, he's not bratty, he's not hasty, he's just like this Jedi who's really smart now, and I must speak with Jabba. He has a cloak, so he looks like the Emperor. What I think is interesting is when Luke Skywalker's negotiating with Jabba, Jabba flips some shit, and he's like, no, I'm not giving you your friends, and then Luke Skywalker just does the Force thing and gets a blaster and tries to shoot him in the face. So a Jedi tried to shoot first. Take that, George Lucas. Then they get taken to the Sarlacc pit, the asshole in the sand. Which is funny because with the special edition, it's now one of those piranha plants that comes out of the pipes in Mario Brothers. I hate that thing too. But I like this part because Luke gets his lightsaber and he throws down. He doesn't even have grace, form, or choreography or anything like that when people are fighting Darth Maul in the prequels. No, he just takes this thing, he's like swinging it like a bat. And guys are getting hit, they're getting trashed, and they're dying. Because Luke Skywalker is a veteran in the Force now, I guess. And then comes the phrase that I've used in a few of my reviews, being Boba Fetted. Being Boba Fetted is when someone's a really cool character and they just get taken out like that in the stupidest way possible. Han turns around, accidentally hits Boba Fett's backpack. He goes shooting across the screen and lands into the Sarlacc pit. He's dead now. And I know in the extended lore, apparently they said, well, he's not dead. Well, I don't read those. To me, all I have is the movies, and Boba Fett died in the dumbest way possible. And after this, Luke is talking with Yoda, and it was just today. I was watching Return of the Jedi, and I was like, oh, that's who Yoda looks like. He looks like Mr. Miyagi. One of the sad parts of Return of the Jedi, Yoda does die. And his dying words to Luke are, there is another Skywalker. You find out that is Princess Leia. Yeah, they're brother and sister. And when he tells her, he's like, do you remember your mother, your real mother? She's like, well, yeah, just a little bit. She died when I was very young. I just want Luke to be like how young? About 30 seconds? Were you 30 seconds old when she died? How do you remember that, you weirdo? I don't remember that, and I'm Mr. Force Jedi. Reason 3762, George Lucas screwed shit up with the prequels. And in terms of the Empire in this movie, the Empire has apparently amassed the resources to reconstruct the Death Star. That's right, the first Death Star took about 20 years to construct. This was like 6. Work for the common man supported by the Empire, but yeah, screw that noise. We're still gonna blow that shit up. However, with the Emperor on the Death Star, the Rebellion has no choice. This is their time to strike, and they're gonna take this shit down. And so they go down to the forest moon of Endor to take out the shield generator that's, you know, pretty much protecting the Death Star. And then comes the thing in Return of the Jedi I hate most. Alright, odds are you've asked a girl, hey, do you like Star Wars? And her response was, well, I like the one with the little fuzzy bears. She's talking about the Ewoks. I hate these things. I hate them so much. Why do I hate them? It's actually, here it is. The Ewoks represent the first time George Lucas was like, hey, I'm gonna create something, and I'm gonna do it not for what's best for the story and the plot of the movie, but I'm gonna do it for merchandising so I can make a couple of crappy kids movies after this. Kids will like the Ewoks. Ewok toys will sell like hotcakes. That's why the Ewoks came to be. I'm just saying, when the Emperor says, oh, an entire legion of my best troops are on that moon, and they get taken out by Ewoks, that's stupid. I would rather have Wookiees. I could probably buy that. But nope, in this whole throwdown down on the forest moon of Endor, sticks and rocks getting hit against stormtrooper armor, that takes them out. I mean, the entire forest moon of Endor thing isn't all stupid. You have a pretty cool speeder bike scene, that's alright. However, Luke goes on a side quest. He's like, Vader's my father. There is still good in him. I have felt it. I gotta change him back to the good side. If for nothing else, I get to say that to the Emperor. And when the Emperor is taunting Luke, it's like the coolest thing ever. I love it. The Emperor is just a wordsmith. When he's all like, strike me down and your journey towards the dark side will be complete. And Luke just like, yep. He takes his lightsaber and tries to crack the Emperor right over the chest. Vader blocks him and then we have a fight. But it was really cool seeing Luke be like, yeah, I think the ends will justify the means here. All right, you're dead. Not quite a Boy Scout. That's what I'm talking about. Luke is probably the only Jedi in the history of the Star Wars movies that we actually relate to. Because he's a normal person. He just happens to be a badass with a lightsaber now. And this is why I can look past the little teddy bears that are fighting down on the forest moon of Endor that I'd rather forget. Because the conflict between Luke, Vader, and the Emperor is just really cool. But it's more than just lightsaber fighting, you know? It's a conflict. Luke's like, I'm trying to bring you back to the good side, and the Emperor's over here taunting him. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. It's a tough fight for Luke at this point. Then Vader throws his lightsaber, Luke falls, and it's like he disappears. Like, no one knows where he went. Vader didn't see where Luke went. The Emperor didn't see where Luke went. You gotta think Vader might have some night vision goggles in that mask or something. There's gotta be some special thing going on with it. But it doesn't matter, because this is a really cool moment in the Star Wars trilogy. Luke is sitting in the dark. Vader's just taunting him. And Luke's got half his face in the shadow, the other half in the lights. Totally symbolic and totally awesome. Meanwhile, Vader finds out that he has a sister, and then he says, if you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. Luke snaps. Just whips out his lightsaber, never, and just starts wailing away on Vader. The cool thing about this, there's no grace or form to it. Again, no choreography. He's just wailing away on Vader. And you can see the way Vader's backing up. He's like, oh shit, oh damn, I shouldn't have said that. But Luke goes ballistic and just slices off Vader's hand. Payback is a bitch, and he's got him at point. At a point when Luke has Vader on the ground at mercy, the Emperor starts talking. He's like, your hate has made you powerful. Fulfill your destiny and take your father's place at my side. And Luke kind of snaps out of it, and he's like, oh man. He looks at his hand. He notices he has a robot hand just like Vader. He notices he's becoming just like Darth Vader. And he retracts his lightsaber and he throws it, and he's like, I'll never turn to the dark side. If the Emperor had just not said anything, he just let Luke do his thing, I think Luke might have actually killed Vader. But because the Emperor just had to open his mouth, it snapped Luke out of it, and that's why the Emperor failed. Truly illustrating that silence is golden. And then we see something we've never seen before. I mean, you know, before this, it was all like force chokes and reading minds. We'd never seen someone throw lightning out of their hands. The Emperor does. He's like, you will be destroyed. And he starts shooting lightning at Luke. You're like, ugh, how do you fight that? I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I don't care what Yoda says. I've never seen the light side do that shit. And he's really cooking Luke too. He's letting him have it. He wants him to suffer before he kills him. And this is one of the greatest moments ever. I say that a lot in Star Wars reviews, but I'm just saying it is. When he's cooking Luke Skywalker, you see the way the camera pans up to Vader. You can see Vader's conflicted about this. He's looking back to the Emperor, back to Luke. And when the Emperor is getting his jollies frying Luke, Vader looks at Luke, back to the Emperor, and he just picks the Emperor up and just hauls his ass over that power generator, whatever it is. What doesn't matter. He falls, he screams, he blows up, he dies. And that is the part in the Blu-ray that Lucas changed Star Wars for the worst. This was it. This one broke my back. A lot of the other ones did too, but this is the time when I was like, I'm not buying these Blu-rays. I can't. In the Blu-ray version, when the Emperor's frying Luke and Vader's looking back and forth between him, you hear Vader go, no. And then when he picks him up, he's all, no. You can't do that shit. The best part about that scene in Star Wars is that without saying a word, you can tell. He even has a mask on. You cannot see Vader's facial expression. But from the tone and the camera work alone, you can tell that Vader's conflicted about this moment. You know what he's gonna do. You're just rooting for him. You're like, dude, come on, do it. No words spoken. It just happens and it's perfect. Why did he have to yell no? In the same way he yelled no in episode 3 that never happened. But if it did, he would have yelled no in a really stupid ass way. And it so happens when Vader took out the Emperor, the lightning shorted everything out in his suit, and now he's gonna suffocate and die. So Luke gets some FaceTime with him, and when he peels his mask back, reveals crusty old white boy inside. I always kind of thought he looked like Humpty Dumpty, but it's really interesting. You see him and you're like, yeah, you did all that damage. That's interesting to me. In any case, this is the scene where Vader dies. He dies actually a hero. He dies a good guy. It's really sad when you think about it. You're like, oh, Vader died. And so Luke gets out of there. The Death Star blows up. The Emperor is dead. And they're all happy. They're all celebrating with that one song, Yub Yub. Yub yub. Although if you look at the whole Yub Yub song that takes place on Endor, I guess that would be the celebration they would get. They would just kind of be a local celebration because they're like, we don't know how the rest of the galaxy is dealing with this, but we're happy and we're here with the bears. So I guess we're going to hang out and have a barbecue and sing the Yub Yub song. In this special edition, he showed all the other planets celebrating. So I do like that it showed how everyone else reacted to the Emperor getting toasted. Originally, it showed the spirits of Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then this other guy appears. He's this older guy. You've never seen him before. It takes you a second before you're like, who's oh my gosh, that's Darth Vader. It's great. It's awesome. I love seeing that. It just makes sense to me. Why would they have young Vader there? But in the DVD release, he had to change it up again. He has now superimposed Hayden Christensen, the one who played young Anakin Skywalker there. Why? I have no good idea. Because the kids who bought the toys and play the video games will recognize him, I guess. Who's gonna recognize the old guy who played Vader for like 2 seconds before he died? It's stupid, it's dumb, it makes no, why does he get a young body? Lucas's reasoning is like, well, that's how old Vader was last time he was good. No, the last time he was good was when he died in the Death Star, when he picked the Emperor up and threw his ass over that thing and blew him up. If that's the logic, he died good, then he should be the older guy when he's a spirit. In any case, our trilogy about conflict and family and sacrifice and loyalty, good versus evil, the coming of age story, betrayal, friendship, and everything that comes with it comes to an end with Return of the Jedi. I love Return of the Jedi. I hate the Ewoks a lot, but I still cannot skip out on giving this movie awesome-tacular, because Return of the Jedi ultimately, minus the stupid Ewoks, which I can get over, is awesome-tacular. It's that final conflict, man. That Luke, Emperor, Darth Vader situation. That brings it up to an awesome-tacular. That's what makes me forget about the little stupid fuzzy bears. However, I have met people who are like, I want to say that Return of the Jedi is a great movie, but it's only a good movie because I cannot get past the little Ewoks. And I can never argue them. I'm always like, I understand. I draw the line at a lot of other stupid shit Lucas has done. Ewoks being the prelude, the genesis of his stupid ideas. So the Star Wars trilogy, Return of the Jedi, what's your favorite part? Whatever it may be, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.